What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, and recently, the Pokémon Sun and Moon anime concluded its first season for the English dub, and within those 43 episodes, there were definitely some great episodes with memorable, epic, and heartwarming stories, which is why this has inspired us to make this video, the top 5 best episodes from the Pokémon Sun and Moon anime Season 1. Also, another reason for why we wanted to make this video is because we believe this anime is very underrated, so we feel like if we shared why we like the certain episodes we chose for this list, it could inspire the people who didn't like what they saw so far in this anime to go back and give this anime a chance. We personally love it. Anyway, with those reasons for this video now stated, as you can probably tell already, I am not alone for this list. I am joined with a special guest. So, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, Lumiose Trainers? Lumiose Trainer Zach here, and in this video, I'm gonna be helping Ben count down the top 5 Season 1 Sun and Moon anime episodes. Once you're done here, be sure to head over to my channel where we talk about why the Sun and Moon anime is actually great. We hope you enjoy.
Indeed. Anyway, one final thing before we jump right into this list. Of course, it is based on our opinions, so please respect ours, and we shall respect yours in the comments below. We'll love to hear your personal list. But that pretty much covers everything we needed to say for the intro, so let's finally jump right into this list. Episode 27, A Glaring Rivalry.
This episode was awesome. A lot of people complained about how lighthearted and goofy the Sun and Moon series was, but after this episode, the anime proved that it can handle some pretty serious characters as well. Gladion, the ultimate edgelord, makes his anime debut in this episode, and it was a great introduction. He's got a reputation as a powerful trainer, which obviously gets Ash excited to face him. I thought it was so cool that the rivalry was building up between not just Ash and Gladion, but between Rockruff and Lycanroc. This is what the Sun and Moon anime was missing, a new rival for Ash, and they delivered just that. Plus, what was great about Gladion is the fact that he shows off the Continental Crush Z move, which he reveals can only be obtained after defeating Akala Island's Kahuna. So because of this meeting, he was able to help inspire Ash to go to his next grand trial. And thank God too, cause after Ash's battle with Hala in episode 10, we've pretty much had nothing but filler. So it was great that we were finally given some progress. And the final reason why this episode is great is the fact that this episode not only introduces us a new serious rival for Ash, but it also helped give us a little more of Lily and Gladion's backstory.
Episode 37, Rising from the Ruins. This episode focuses on Ash's Rockruff evolving into the brand new Dusk Lycanroc form. But before I even talk about the episode, I want to mention how hype I felt for this episode, because if you didn't know, there are many rumours going on around the time of this episode's release that Lycanroc will be getting a third form in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games, most of the evidence coming from this episode's first preview. I even made a video on this theory and showed so much excitement within it, as it was all coming together. I just really liked the mystery the Pokemon creators were building up to it. And well, a couple of days later, it was confirmed in the second preview that it would indeed be evolving into the new form known as Dusk Lycanroc. Which when watching the preview blind live, it got me super excited because the theory was right, and just the reveal of this Pokemon was spectacular. Dusk Lycanroc is such a beautiful looking Pokemon, and how it actually evolves is really unique compared to other Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. Despite enjoying this experience though, I do wish the Pokemon creators didn't show Rockruff evolve in the second preview, as it could have given me a more exciting experience when watching the episode blind for the first time. But still, when we saw this happen in the actual episode, I had a smile on my face due to what I experienced already. Regardless, with that hype now stated, let's go into the second reason of why I liked this episode so much, which is Rockruff's build up to this form. It gained an aggressive nature due to being so close to evolving. We saw this in the previous episode by it attacking Rowlet, and within this episode with biting Ash and getting angry at Tapu Lele in a battle. It's a very different and interesting evolution story compared to other evolution stories we have seen before in this anime, which I can't help but admire and appreciate. It suits Rockruff really well too, due to being a dog-like Pokemon. So overall, with all these reasons I have stated, that is why I like this episode so much. I believe it to be one of the best within this first season of the anime. Episode 21, One journey ends, another begins.
Do you want an episode to hit you in the feels? Well, this one will do just that. This episode is about the death of Litten's mentor, Stoutland. Now yeah, it's pretty awesome that this is the episode where Ash finally catches Litten, but it's also a great episode because of the way the anime handles death. Right from the beginning, we see that Stoutland isn't doing so well. Like, he could go at any moment. And a great way of showing how long Stoutland has left is through the tree that's right next to him. Every time a leaf fell off, you knew that Stoutland was closer and closer to passing away. And this wasn't just something for us the audience to point out, cause Litten and even Meowth noticed this too. A pretty impactful moment in the episode is when Ash takes Stoutland to the Pokémon Center, and then Nurse Joy comes out to tell Ash the news. What I love about this scene is that we see it from Litten's point of view. He goes to be with Stoutland, and then the door shuts so you can't really hear what she's saying. But from her expression and Ash's reaction, you can tell what they're talking about. The episode did so good in conveying a Pokemon's death in a way that wasn't so in your face about it. Like, they don't straight up tell you he dies, but if you're old enough, you can kinda tell. And when it's finally time, Litten is saddened because of this. It isn't until Litten realizes that his mentor's in a better place that he finally decides to join Ash, and that was a great way of showing Litten that it was time to move on.
Episode 36, Trials and Determinations. This episode focuses on Ash battling the kahuna of Akala Island, Olivia. And oh boy, it was for sure one of the best battles in this entire series so far. It was actually a double battle too. Olivia's Probopass and Midday Lycanroc battling against Ash's Rockruff and Rowlet. So firstly, for one reason why I like this battle so much is because of the strategies both sides of the field were pulling off. We had Olivia's Stealth Rock Trap, which I really love seeing it work differently in the anime, to then her using a Rock type C move, which Ash epically dodged, which we barely see Pokemon be able to dodge C moves, so that was cool. We also have Rowlet making Probopass's Magna Bombs hits itself, which was pretty nice. And finally, we of course have the final stretch, which was Rockruff vs Midday Lycanroc. That entire scene was just so fantastic due to how fast paced it was and the moves being shown. It overall made me feel so much hype, this being my favourite section of the entire episode. Another reason for why I like this episode so much is just the fact we finally got to see an epic battle. We don't receive official battles as much in this series due to the Pokemon School, but it seems like when we do get battles, they always end up to be pretty awesome, much like this one, so I can't help but appreciate that too. To top everything off within this episode too, the animation was so beautiful to look at. We had Bloom Doom, which was absolutely gorgeous, the poses Ash made which made him look like a badass for once, the lighting of the characters which made nice detail, and finally, the camera angles they chose were some of the best I've seen in the anime since the Pokemon XY series. My personal favourite having to be this shot where we wrap around Rockruff using Rock Throw to then have a tracking shot in the sky of Lycanroc falling down to his defeat. Thanks to that angle, I just felt so much excitement. Angles really do help to make a good experience. Such an awesome moment too. Before we move on to the number 1 spot, we quickly wanted to give honourable mentions to Episode 1, Episode 10, and Episode 25. Episode 1 to us was a nice way to start the series, Episode 10 had a good battle between Ash and Holler, however we preferred Olivia's a lot more, and as for Episode 25, it was nice to see two goofy Evo teams have a rivalry, and Team Rocket actually earned themselves the Darkanium Z. That's sweet. But with those honourable mentions now said though, let's now move on to the most anticipated number 1 spot. Episode 42, Alola Kanto, and Episode 43, When Regions Collide.
So for this number 1 spot, we actually have 2 episodes, Episode 42 and 43. That's because both these episodes go hand in hand. I'll be talking about Episode 42 first. Man, what an episode. This one is nostalgia filled through and through. It features Ash and the Alola gang heading to Kanto. I loved it. Because of this, we got the return of Brock and Misty, Ash's very first traveling companions that we haven't seen in years. It's not just them though, we also got to see most of Ash's Kanto Pokemon at Professor Oak's lab. Oh yeah, and Corphish and Totodile. It was really great to see them all. Now yeah, although this episode didn't have much in terms of plot, it was still great to revisit all these old characters and Pokemon. So this still made for a pretty enjoyable episode, especially if you've been watching the series since the beginning. One of my favorite moments is when Ash, Brock, and Misty are reminiscing about the good old days when they traveled together. And I gotta say, it was pretty cool seeing Brock and Misty interact with the Alola gang. It was a nice mix of old and new. And to top it all off, not only did we get the return of Jigglypuff, who we haven't seen since the Advanced series, but it also ends with a cameo of Mew. Then, the whole gang heads to the Cerulean Gym to learn about gym battles. That was awesome.
Moving on to episode 43 now, I believe it was a perfect sequel to the first Kanto episode. In this episode, we got to see Kiori battle Brock and Ash battle Misty, both in official gym battle formats too, which was really awesome to see due to not watching a gym battle since 1 year ago, and it gave a perfect excuse for us to finally witness the gym battle we wanted to see Ash and Misty have years ago in the original series. Before I talk about each gym battle though, I just want to mention that I love the idea of Brock and Misty having Mega Evolutions too. That's sweet. They were very good choices too. Yes, it was very unexpected and we didn't get a story of how they got the Mega Stones, but I can't help but admire this idea a lot anyway, especially because it also made for a very cool concept of Mega Evolutions versus Z moves. In the community, there's always a debate of which is better, and this episode just showed that in reality, both have the same kind of power, due to Mega Evolution getting one win and Z move the other. No favoritism. That's really nice. But I still prefer the concept of Mega Evolution over Z moves. Power wise though, they are the same like I just said. Anyway, jumping right into the battles now, both were such a joy to watch because of their strategies, such as the ridiculous but classic and lovable Ash coming up with the idea of Pikachu running up Gyarados' Twister, Brock Steelix using Gyro Ball to deflect Turtonator's Flamethrower, then grabbing it with a bind attack to prevent it using Shell Smash, Gyarados using Rain Dance so Electric Balls couldn't hit it, and much more. The battles were just so epic, I cannot express it enough, being right up there with Olivia's battle. Just overall, this was such an exciting episode, and both were an amazing way to celebrate the anime's anniversary. Oh yeah, both of these episodes included amazing Easter eggs to past series too. Check out my Easter egg series. But yeah, that concludes it for this number 1 spot. And that concludes the list we made for this video. It was so much fun exploring these amazing episodes again. I really do suggest you guys check them out if you haven't already. But if you have seen every episode from season 1, then do let me know in the comments down below what your personal favourites are too. I'd love to hear. Of course though, I want to thank Zach for helping me make this list.
No problem, Ben. It was fun to look back at some of these episodes. Now if you guys still want some more Sun and Moon goodness, then head over to my channel to watch why we think the Sun and Moon series is great. We'll see you all there.
Hey, be sure to do that guys. That collab was really fun to make too, and Zach in general is a great guy to subscribe to. Regardless of that though, that pretty much wraps it up for this video now. So if you enjoyed, then be sure to leave a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. For now though, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.